All right, the day is finally here. Let's check out the House of David trailer. I haven't seen this yet. This is my first reaction, and then we'll break it down right after. Let's get into it.
Can one stone change the course of history? Change the course of history?
Interesting. Okay, so obviously, let's talk about House of David first, and then let's go back through this trailer here. So, obviously, House of David is being done by MGM through Amazon. So that's that here, but it's also being done here by Wonder Project. Now, Wonder Project is something that was a group that was made essentially by John Irwin, who used to be part of Kingdom Story Company. I'm not sure if he is or not anymore, but Wonder Project is kind of a separate entity now that is making shows like House of David. And so some really interesting things that are beyond this, especially to my audience here, is that for the people who are consulting on this are people like Dallas Jenkins, for example, who consulted on this and helped them out with specific aspects of Wonder Project's House of David. Although I don't think he was like super involved. Obviously, he's not directing it or not anything like that. But he was a part of the process in some level in order to help them kind of understand what they should be doing, which is amazing. It's a great first step for sure. Another thing that I heard from Dallas Jenkins is that they are also using the same kind of biblical safety net. So the group that works through Come and See, not the biblical roundtable folks from The Chosen, but the group that works with Come and See in order to read over the Chosen scripts and to make sure that they are accurate and make sure there's nothing like weird in them. That's the same group that's looking at the House of David scripts. And so that should be really interesting to see. I'm really glad that we have that. Again, another green flag there. Now, let's check through the trailer. This is our first look into what this show is going to be and what it's going to look like. And so let's kind of go through and watch this this trailer again and kind of break down what we're looking at here. So first things first, we open up on David. Most likely this is near the Valley of Elah would be my guess. Or wherever David is in the wilderness. I'm not sure if it's probably going to be a specific location here, but he's picking up a stone.
Can one stone change the course of history?
My guess is that voice is Michal. That would be my guess, is the only young woman that I can kind of think of in this realm here that would be talking like that. I think David and Michal are probably going to have some sort of like love interest type thing as he's getting close to Jonathan and as everything's happening with her as well. It's super interesting to me because I can't really fully tell what the full plot of season 1 is going to be. If there's going to be 8 episodes in season 1 and then 8 episodes in future seasons, what are those other seasons going to be about? Is this season just focused on David and Goliath and then is going to end on that Goliath kind of big war moment? That would be my guess, is that we're going to build up into that. David's going to go to war and defeat Goliath, and then they're going to defeat the Philistines. But yeah, it's hard to say overall what the exact plot is going to be because the story of David and Goliath is not that long, right? Like, it's not that long at all. So I wonder what they're going to add to it or show behind the scenes beyond what we see in Scripture. So here looks like we're seeing massive armies, which is very, very cool to see. What side are we on here? Is this the side of Israel? Looks like it might be this side of Israel here looking at the Philistines. And then these are the Philistines here. I can't fully tell by the flags right here, but these are definitely the Philistines. And of course, Goliath. This shot actually looks pretty good. There's a little bit of weirdness. Okay, there's a little bit of weirdness. If you look around his legs, you can see there's just a little bit of like, I guess it's some VFX stuff that's going on there. If you look around his legs, the bronze on his legs, obviously this guy is not this tall. So having Goliath in the show, there's going to be CG, there's going to be visual effects that are going on. But if you look around his legs, you can kind of see some warping and some different things happening there, which is not perfect. I would like to see that a little bit better for sure. But here we've got the Philistines.
God, send me your champion.
Interesting voice for Goliath there. I think it's good. Obviously, they lowered his voice quite a bit there. It sounds like he's a little bit hoarse, is what it sounds like. Let's go back there.
God, send me your champion.
He does look good though. Like in these shots and stuff, he looks pretty good. I just hope that it's really, really, really polished as it's released, you know. But we see they're in the valley here, the valley of Elah, which is where this battle happens. And we see the army kind of lining up. These spears must be for Goliath to throw. A lot of these spears here are probably just stuck in the ground for him to throw. Looks like he has a sword over his shoulder. In scripture, we see that he has a spear that kind of is slung around him, and he carries that as well as his shield, and then his breastplate is talked about. The sword is going to be very important later on. It does seem maybe a little bit small for Goliath here. I'd like to see some more angles of it, the sword on his back. We know that David obviously is able to wield it later because he cuts off the head of Goliath later on. So obviously it has to be small enough for David to handle it, but big enough for it to feel normal for Goliath, probably.
Goliath!
Can one act of defiance create the legend?
So that most likely is going to be the ending scene, the ending like episode would be my guess here.
Create
David running into battle. Of course, there's a lot of stuff that happens around that, but yeah.
the legend. I will tell you
I guess this is David and his mom, and she's playing the harp here.
the story of David, a simple shepherd boy.
And there he is young. I wonder how much of that we're going to get. Probably not too much would be my guess. Now he's older, shepherd boy as well. I wonder if we're going to see him fight some of the other animals that we see in scripture as well. That would be very cool.
Why do my brothers get to fight?
I wonder if those are his brothers there as he's speaking about it.
Why do my brothers get to fight?
And who they're fighting here. This blue-caped person, probably someone connected to the Philistines would be my guess, but no idea. Fight here.
And I'm stuck here.
David, you are not a man of blood.
So that must be one of his brothers there. He's carrying a harp. He's wearing
An outcast who became one of the most famous kings who ever
This is Saul here, as Michal is talking about David becoming a king.
lived.
God does not see what man sees.
Now, this is Samuel, the prophet Samuel. This is going to be interesting as well. Obviously, he's going to be looking for a new king during this time as he's seen that Saul has gone off into a different direction. And he's looking towards the sons of Jesse, which obviously he looks at these different sons and eventually picks David as this son and understands that David is the rightful king of Israel and will become king.
He sees into the heart.
And here he is with the oil and the ram's horn, I believe, here. It's interesting. I never really pictured David being with his family when this happens. I always pictured him being alone. Yeah, we'll have to take a look at that.
And you have the heart of a lion.
This is interesting here. We had a couple of different shots kind of going on. We have this shot of David with a torch, where he's in a cave. This is probably where he's fighting one of the animals that we see in scripture, when he's defending his sheep, maybe. And then maybe this is the aftermath of that, where he has to fight that animal and he's all bloodied. That's actually pretty cool. I like that a lot, actually. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Do we see any animal there? No, it must have been in the cave that it happened. So there's Saul there. We see a battlefield set up here on the map. Wonder who that is. I guess this writer here, maybe just delivering a message to Saul or someone like that.
The Philistines have assembled.
The armies do look pretty good here. If we back up, very Lord of the Rings feeling, like very big army feel. Yeah.
I saw the print.
I like this. I like this part. He says, I saw the print of a man bigger than a basket weave, basically. This is very cool. Like kind of the foreshadowing of Goliath and showing like, hey, there's something big coming. There's a huge guy coming. This looks like maybe one of David's brothers or just a soldier of Saul, but not
Saw
sure.
the print of a hand larger than a weaver's basket.
They have a giant. What?
So that is Saul's wife here, over here. The one that said, I have a child.
Print of a hand larger than a weaver's basket.
They have
This is Saul's wife.
a giant. What?
And then this, I believe, is Michal, his daughter. And then maybe this is his other daughter. I got to look again, but there's David there, coming in with his brothers. Look,
King, I will fight the giant.
Fight him with the same spirit you bring into this room.
And of course, here we're going to see him possibly try on the armor and then get ready for the battle. Yeah, this show's going to be so interesting to kind of decipher because we don't really know the feel of the show yet, you know? Like how much are they going to joke about certain things, or you know, will there be much levity at all, or what is going to be happening here? I'm really interested to see how the feel of the show goes over.
You play music for my father. Now he chooses you as champion.
Yeah, so that looks like oh, that's Jonathan. That's who that is. You play music for my father. Now he chooses you as champion. This must be Jonathan right here. Yeah. So this guy earlier was Jonathan, who I thought was maybe his brother. Yeah. This guy's Jonathan. Yep. Okay, that makes sense now. So obviously Jonathan and David are going to have a relationship, like they're going to be best friends, as we see in scripture as well. But that will probably grow over time. Maybe Jonathan has some animosity at first here, and then he kind of grows into
For
it.
my father. Now he chooses you as champion. How will you do this?
Of course, David playing the harp throughout. We've seen lots of photos and videos of him doing that. Makes a lot of sense, as David he's a musician. He plays the harp, and that is a theme that continues with him for a long time.
It's not about the greatness of the giant.
Let's see. We got some interesting shots here. I can't tell if this is like a dream sequence or like what is happening here. There's like a knight in the river, and then he like points the sword down. What is on the sword? It's like some engravings here. Can't really see too much, but neat design, neat design. Then we've got the unveiling of Goliath's weapons,
Giant.
which is Goliath's sword. So this is Goliath's sword here. So maybe it's a dream sequence of David fighting Goliath beforehand. Yeah, I don't know. This is Goliath's sword though, the same sword we see in the next
The
shot.
giant.
So this sword and shield, the Philistine king must be unveiling these to Goliath, getting him ready. You can see how big that sword is on a normal person. It is a massive, massive sword for a normal person, for sure. Shield looks good. There's Goliath attacking there. He's maybe testing out his weapons on some target dummies there.
It is about the
And again, Jonathan David.
greatness of God.
What was that? What is happening here? I do not understand what's happening here, but I'm sure we'll find out. Maybe, again, some sort of vision or dream sequence here that's happening. Very interesting there. Again, I'm just trying to like look at all these little details here. We've got this woman in red. Most likely this is Saul's wife. I can't tell.
Are you afraid?
Or is that Michal? I can't tell.
Terrified.
I believe in you.
Now this is interesting. This is Jonathan fighting here. Maybe this is a previous battle that they had. Doesn't look like the Philistines, although it could be. This could be a previous battle where Jonathan is fighting in as well. Looks like they're finishing up a battle, basically. And there's Jonathan there as he's attacking. Yeah. A lot of these shots look pretty good.
So, as the fate of a people.
Is this supposed to be like a flash forward to Jerusalem? I can't really tell. Trying to see here. I don't think so.
No!
Interesting moment here. We've got Saul. Is that the death of Jonathan? Okay, so in that same battle, like the battle in red here, we see Jonathan getting shot by an arrow and dying? And here's Saul. Is this Jonathan? Is this supposed to be someone else?
Hangs in the
And then here's the battle back with Goliath here. The Philistines charging in. And is this the Israelites? They look so janky compared to the Philistines. That's so hilarious, actually. They've got a bunch of like pitchforks and spears, no armor, while the other side has like a ton of armor and swords and actual like war gear. I'm trying to look at any of these flags here to see if there's anything on them that would identify like the Israelites. There's like a flag way in the back that looks like it's almost like a white and blue, which is like today's Israel flag. I don't think that's what that is, but it just reminds me of that. Interesting. King Saul's crown.
Again, I ask this
Don't know who this is,
question.
but David 360 no scope out the window. Nice. And then this is Saul fighting with Jonathan with a wooden sword here. Breaking his sword. Maybe just showing him who's boss here. And we've got the Israelites, maybe some of David's brothers here. But yeah, they definitely look raggedy. They definitely look raggedy, which is interesting. They've got like some leather armor overall instead of like the Philistines' crazy. That's right. And then Goliath throwing a spear. Probably acting like an artillery cannon back there. And then David waking up.
Can one stone change the course of history?
And then that, my guess would be that shot comes from the finale, I guess. Very cool. On Prime Video. So you do have to have an Amazon Prime account to watch it. But looks really, really good. Lots of green flags here. I just really want to get into it. I really want to get into the episodes, start deep diving. Let me know your thoughts about House of David, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.